Hmm. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in right now. I'm at a protest. Well, okay, the protest hasn't started, but things are gonna get started around 5 o'clock. It's past 5 now. They were making signs in the cafeteria here, down there. At 5, and then at 5 they said they're gonna come out here and have some speeches and a rally. According to the event page, there was a flyer that was put out for an event called Abortion is Genocide, Find Out Why. And I guess based off of that flyer or the event the flyer is advertising, they're having the protest today. So right now, I'm gonna wait. It's just after 5, but no one has really started to come out here yet. They'll be coming out of these doors here, so that's why I'm standing right here. I think they're doing Tai Chi over here or something. Is it the Lib protest? Yes, it is. The groups putting this on is Portland State International Socialist Organization and the Queer Liberation Front. Neon Arctices. Check the video itself, the video page itself. Put a little note on there for stating what happened afterwards, what the fallout was from that. So far, this is what they have so far.
Hey Demi, I didn't know you got into PSU. Planning on getting your GED here?
I'm not a student here, actually.
Yeah, you definitely should get your GED and start going places.
Already am. Yes, Neon. They're already here.
Yep, we're here. Two cameras, that's smart. I got a buddy. You got 2 cameras. There's 2 of us. Hey, buddy. Hey. What's up, D? I'll hold this up if you want.
Get a good shot. We could use promotional material.
There's a backside too, dummy.
You want to check this
Really
out too?
good.
This is good news. This is good knowledge to have. There we go. There we go. And we get the front. Fantastic.
Let's see, the guy standing in front of me, his name is Ronald Brown. He's a student here
Hello.
at PSU.
Yeah, you read Dark Horse manga? I didn't know you were a weeaboo, dummy. Ray or Asuka?
I bet Dimmy's into a lot
Not
of
really.
stuff, actually. He
They don't
seems like
really
the type.
carry
Are you going
weapons.
to the retro gaming convention yet?
They're pretty weak.
That's not bad. Have you been to Mythic World?
I have not. How is it?
It is fantastic. A lot of really intricate cosplays there. How about you? Have you been to Mythic World? Maybe Fairy World or something?
Yeah, that's his name.
You like cosplay?
He's not talking. He's talking to
Horizontal
somebody on the
click
phone.
Talking to
9002.
his boss. Hey, are you talking to George Soros? Tell him like my check got lost in the mail.
Did you make the Rose City Comic Con?
I've snuck into Rose City Comic Con like 3 times.
There was some good stuff there this year. There were a lot of really fantastic panels. I sat through this one on Mass Effect and genealogy and how they're using genetic splicing to eliminate mosquitoes. It's really fantastic. How about you? What kind of stuff are you into, man?
You like video games, Demi? You ever play like Super Smash Bros?
It's a big game.
We're having a pro-choice rally.
And he's filming everybody.
This guy doesn't even know that Pepe comes from Boys Life. Hey amigos, let's come and talk to Demi. He needs some friends.
I'm definitely not a friend of his.
What? He
That's
looks like such a
Richard.
nice, friendly guy. You're not his friend?
Everybody needs a friend.
Well, me and Danny don't want to stand on the political spectrum. I don't stand on the side he stands on.
Here's a secret. I'm not a fascist either.
Well, you know, when you enable right-wing fascist groups, a platform that gives open the door for like Nazis. Even though you say you're not Nazis, but that gives a door and a platform for a weapon for Nazis to
National
come in.
capitalists are Nazis too.
To be fair, he's already got a platform which is utilizing at the moment. We're just interacting with that platform.
Howdy. We're having a pro-choice rally. Come aboard. This man is an alt-right cameraman. He's not very friendly.
Press.
So.
Hi.
Have a good day, my friend.
Demi, like you should film those wizards over there. That's way better material.
They
People
are
are
doing-
actually doing magic. You could be recording magicians.
I thought it was Tai Chi.
Same thing.
I mean, if you watch like the Airbender series, it could just be like an elemental thing. Like maybe they're trying to summon their fire spirits or something, whatnot.
It's true. What do you think, Demi? Are they firebenders, airbenders?
Earthbenders are my thing. I love earthbenders. Pretty groovy dudes. Why they don't just build their entire cities out of rock, I don't understand. Make you so resilient to like catapults and siege weapons and whatnot.
Well, you know, even if you don't agree with the whole point of abortion, but there are people, you know, on the right wing that think it's okay to bomb abortion.
He does. Have you read his blog? He said he's going to bomb the Portland Planned Parenthood.
Are you pro-choice, Timmy? Or
Did
are you,
I actually say that?
Yeah, we saw your blog. It's on Rose City Antifa's website.
Really?
Yeah.
See, he is listening to us. He's just ignoring us. No, see, that's rude. We're trying to engage you in some kind of conversation that's separate from all this. You're just giving us nothing.
He's just not neurotypical. Gotta respect that.
I get that. I suppose. You don't have to talk to us, of course.
So what's new in your life, dude?
Well, it's just just like a pro-choice program.
Yeah.
Are the people here besides Zeddy they're on the opposite side?
Nope, just him.
I'm just coming to check things out.
Hi. Hello, beautiful humans. Thank you for being here. I wanted to start off with a quick chant because we want to like bring up the energy. It's wonderful to see that so many people came. If you are not aware, there's someone who is filming us. I have absolutely no shame in standing up for people's rights to have a safe, free, on-demand abortion, and so I don't mind being videotaped. Because, okay? My body, my choice.
My body, my choice. My body, my choice. My body, my choice.
Scheduled right here inside that room to hold a 4-hour, thank you, pro-life training academy. And to hiss and drool loudly, thank you. And to advertise, they decided to display this racist, sexist, and flat-out traumatizing display case stating that abortion is genocide. Yeah, it was absolutely disgusting. And so those of us here on campus were rightfully infuriated at this and wanted to come together to provide a space where we could show that this shit will not be tolerated. No! But they heard that we were going to be here, and they ran away. They relocated their event to a place that they knew, and they didn't put information of where to find them, and that, which means they basically will not have an audience because they actually are not going to provide that information. So we won. Okay, this is a small victory, but it is a victory. Okay, and I want to just mention briefly like why coming out together as a community in protest actually works, right? So in the years when some of the anti-abortion the anti-abortion jerks were at their height, between 1977 and 89, there were 77 family planning clinics that were firebombed. 117 were targets of arson, 250 received bomb threats, 231 were invaded, and 224 were vandalized, right? So in some cities, hundreds of anti-choice bigots would like descend on a clinic, screaming at women who tried to go in, and many of whom were just trying to get basic health services, and calling them baby killers, okay? As a result, in places where no protests were organized, the bigots had successfully shut down those health clinics, right? For sometimes even for periods of weeks, making it so that people never again, right? Never again. And so, in other places though, where grassroots organization was robust, people, our side mobilized to physically be there and outnumber the right-wingers in big, beautiful protests, and that broke their confidence to come back again. So this is important. They may be gone, but you being here today is incredibly important. We are so happy you came out and
Watch where you going. Watch where you going.
Thank you.
Watch where you going, Richard.
And even though they're not here, I think it's good practice, right, to practice a message for them, because we have a message for them. I do. I'm here to say a few things.
Excuse me.
One, we will not allow them to equate a simple medical procedure that, oh, this person's trying to kill me. It's okay, I have a message, I want you to hear it.
I have no problem with your event, actually.
So we will not allow you to equate a simple medical procedure
I mean,
that 1 in 3 people with a
What?
uterus will undergo before the age
Yeah,
of
I'm just live
45
streaming.
with genocide.
Yeah, what's wrong with live streaming
which
it?
has destroyed millions of people across history, targeting our most vulnerable people on Earth. It is abhorrent that they would make that comparison, and we will not stand for it. Number 2, we will not allow you to terrorize female PSU students with your attempts at shaming and degrading us. It will not be tolerated. The third point, we will not apologize for demanding free abortion access on demand for every girl, woman, non-binary, and trans person who wants one. And we will not limit that support only to those who need an abortion as a product of rape or other victimization, but we will support every person who wants an abortion. No excuses. Free abortion on demand. Can we do it?
Yes, we can.
Free abortion on demand. Can we do it?
Yes, we can.
The ability to freely access a safe abortion represents fundamental self-determination that allows any person with a uterus to maintain sovereignty over their body. It reduces economic dependence on others, and it allows them to be the only one who can set the terms of how their life and their future are engineered. Thank you. Reproductive justice is about protecting the choice not to have children or to have children. That's right. And exposing the deplorable campaigns of forced sterilization of women of color. It's about the right not to fear that your children will be shot down by police for the crime of being black in America, or that you'll be separated from your children due to immigration raids. It's about providing adequate health care for people who are assigned female at birth, as well as those who choose to identify as women. Reproductive justice is not something limited to contraception, pregnancy, and birth. It extends to the realms of housing, food security, freedom to marry and divorce, freedom from interpersonal violence and domestic violence, child care, wages, and the workplace, where the fight for better conditions will allow us more autonomy over our lives. The truth is, if we truly want to achieve full liberation and equality for all women, then we must put abortion firmly and unapologetically at the center of our demands. Yep. 4, we will not support an event like the one that was scheduled tonight, because while they might just be talking right now, these are the same people who will go and put those words into action and demanding that we have our rights, which are limited to begin with, further eroded, okay? So we start here. Because we know that the need to terminate unwanted pregnancies is so universal and so common that restricting access doesn't make abortion go away, it just makes it more dangerous.
That's right, that's right.
Number 5. We will not wait with folded arms for the PSU administration to send this message for us. And even though their approval of the display case and the reprimanding they gave to students who tried to cover it up showed the moral poverty of the people who run this university, we will not ask them to act in a way that will restrict free speech on this campus. Instead, we will do what we're doing right now, which is showing up, calling friends, saying, come with us. We're showing up, and we are doing what the folks did in 77 through 89 when they needed to come together most, is that the people came together and shut that shit down. Let people know that they should not be ashamed for accessing or wanting an abortion, and that they have a whole host of people who will stand up with them and to demand that together, okay? We need to rely on ourselves, not the administration, to do this for us. So, by coming together today, I really do appreciate that. Here's what we're gonna do. Even though their event was relocated, we're still gonna take a time to have a little speak out, okay? You know why? Because the purpose of that display case and the disgusting message inside of it was to silence us. That was the goal. It was to use the tactic of shock to make us feel ashamed and belittled so that we didn't actually have, they want us to believe that we don't have a voice and we can't use it. And so what are we gonna do? We're gonna create a space that every person who came here because they're pissed off that that shit is inside of our campus can have a space to say that out loud and to know that you are heard and appreciated and not alone. So, we're gonna kick this thing off with an opening by a friend of mine who, as a native Two-Spirit person, actually does all too well know what the real definition of genocide is. I wanna invite Candy up to the stage. This is my stage. This is the stage. To give a little opening and to grace us with some words of hers, who, as a person who I admire very much in the fight that she leads, bringing people together and fighting against injustice, we're honored to really have Candy here today.
I'm not sure if I want to say good evening or good day. I'm going to begin, first of all, just thanking each and every one of you for being here and for all those who support women's rights, because my body, my choice. I'm an absolute 110% supporter of being able to use our own voice, especially here in Portland, Oregon, and here on campus, because I'm still a graduate student here at PSU. I just took a year off to spend a year at Standing Rock and to lead the Two-Spirit Nation camp. And you know, to be honest, you know, I felt like I used both my academic ability, my professional development, and everything else that makes me the person that I am put together to stand up and have my voice be heard nationally, have my voice be heard on an Indigenous rising level, have my voice be heard as a woman who wants to stand up in the front, in the face of the oppressor. So I want to thank you, you know, because when I think of campus life, I think of rallies and marches. I think of people exercising their right to be heard and to be seen. So, you know, we're Portland, we're thought of throughout the United States. After we were evacuated and forcibly removed from treaty land after the end of the No DAPO movement, you know, the administration came in and forcibly removed us. And my crew, the Two-Spirit Nation, we continued traveling we marched at Washington, D.C. in the front of number 45's White House. And we let them hear us, you know, to show them, you can remove us, but we'll just come closer. We'll just be even more louder. We'll continue to be heard and seen. There's nothing you can do that will silence me, because the person next to me will echo my force. So today, you know, I'm really excited to come be here on campus, because I moved from South Dakota 4 years ago to be here at PSU to pursue a Master's in Public Administration, Health Administration degree. And then I started the Equity Institute, which is Oregon's first trans and queer health clinic inside of the campus. So, you know, everything's possible. Anything's possible. All the things are possible, especially, you know, standing here on this campus. Being a single parent mom, I have 2 young women right there who are becoming women themselves. So I want them to see and hear that women, we are sacred. And I want to begin by burning some sage that was gifted to me by an Indigenous elder when I visited Albuquerque, to bring some of the messages, some of the medicines, some of my ability to share the experience when I stood at Standing Rock whenever I was shot with rubber bullets for praying, unarmed, standing there with my heart in my hands, for fighting for the people, for my future generations, for my daughters, for people to have clean water, because it's all about what's important to us, what's sacred to us, what's going to wake us up the next day to keep pursuing that degree, to wake us up the next day to keep being seen and heard and exercising our rights, our freedom to be strong, independent, Indigenous people, women, men, you know, all the identities that we carry. We have that right to stand right here today and to make sure that this kind of activity doesn't happen on our campus. I'm gonna sing a prayer song, because like I was saying, you know, these are Indigenous lands, and this is Turtle Island, and there's no borders on Turtle Island. You can't take land and ask people to follow an oppressive way of life whenever you became the oppressor from the beginning. So in my culture, I'm Oglala Lakota Sioux. I'm gonna burn this sage, and I'm gonna offer up the good intentions, the energy that's here today, and also sing a song to honor each of you who are here, and each of those women who have exercised their rights, each of those folks who chose to embrace the ability to own their bodies, to own their rights, to be able to have abortions on demand. And this feather that I'm holding here, this was gifted to me by the International Two-Spirit Council from an elder. And I tied it to the top of my teepee. I lived in a teepee at Standing Rock during negative 20-degree weather, standing strong from September until they removed us in February. So this feather holds a lot of sacredness for me, and I want to bring it here because what we're doing is sacred, and it's going to continue to be sacred. Thank you. You know, I was at Standing Rock, as I was talking about, to fully feel the effect of what it meant to have an FBI profile. I now have an FBI profile as environmental terrorist because I chose, because I'm indigenous, because I'm fighting for water, because I am standing up to this administration who is forcibly removing folks from our indigenous land so that they can continue building that pipeline. Yes, they are still building that pipeline. Yes, that pipeline went into the ground, but we did not lose because my ancestors brought me there. They brought so many of us together. They taught us what it means to be relatives. Because in my language, in many indigenous languages, there's words that say we are all related. And the medicine wheel that we practice is black, red, yellow, white, and that's the circle of all the people. Our word, matakiase, means we are all relatives. And each and every one of us depends on water to live. Each and every one of us depends on our rights to be honored, to have the freedom to live a healthy way of life, to be in balance. And that's what that medicine wheel means. It means mental, emotional, physical, and spiritual balance. So if we want our rights to be heard, if we are having any type of oppressive way of life, we have to continue fighting and walking forward. And, you know, I have personally been impacted by having not only just my rights being violated, but also being violated as a woman, being violated for being two-spirit, and knowing that having an abortion meant that in South Dakota, I would have to drive to another state. Knowing that I lived in a very right-wing state that told me what I could and couldn't do with my body. And so I know that I'm standing here not because, you know, I went to Standing Rock, and not because I know what it feels like to be shot with water cannons, to be maced on a daily, to have helicopters flying above us that say Border Patrol as a fear tactic, to have stadium lights 24/7 as a psychological means of abuse. You know, I went through all of that because I knew that I have my children, I have elders, I have friends, I have fellow students who are also wanting and needing to be heard and seen. And so for myself to know that we're having folks like this come to our campus to try to use fear tactics against us as well, that's not acceptable. So I'm going to stand here and continue showing up to each and every protest that I can, each and every rally, because it's not about standing there and protesting. It's about protecting our rights. It's about being seen and heard. It's about coming together in unity. It's about showing